Just hold his face. Yeah, he's calm. Just hold his face to the branch and see if he'll
Let him walk off.
I want to keep him.
Auburn, let him walk off. He's doing fine.
I want to keep him.
He's going back to his house.
Look at that. He's like doing
oh, thank you.
Okay, we are going to be drawing and outlining our color chameleon today. So what you're going to need, pencils. Remember, the pencils are in the folder holder tub with your folder. Your Sharpie is going to be out of your own personal little pencil container. So that's the last thing we need today. When you get your pencil and you get your folder and they pass out the paper, there is a white piece of paper in there. Please understand, if someone is absent, do not use their paper. Let me say that again. If someone is absent, do not use their paper as a, oops, I messed up, I'm going to draw it again. We are using a pencil with an eraser. That's what that's for. Feel free to draw this first in your sketchbook, your class sketchbook, and then move to the paper. You only get one piece of white paper from me. Again, we're using a pencil with an eraser. This is going to go back. We will return our paper to this folder, so just put it back in the tub. Your white paper needs to be horizontal, side to side. And again, we are using a pencil. So we're going to draw because we need to be able to erase certain parts once we draw it. Our chameleon is going to be sitting on a log, and then we're going to have leaves coming out around here. Please understand, we don't want to overdraw, because when we overdraw, then it's hard to paint and hard to outline. So we're going to start with the chameleon's face. If you need to take your paper horizontal, take your left side and fold it to your right side, so we know if we draw the head on the left side, we'll have enough room for the body. So here's my invisible line. Once we have it folded, we're going to move to the left side. Now again, here's the thing about pencil. You draw hard and it's hard to erase. You draw lighter, which means you don't push as hard, it's easier to erase. I'm going to end up drawing a little harder because I need you to see what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to start with is the top of our chameleon's head. It's more of an arch. Again, this is on the left side of the fold. Now we're going to come in like a little hook. Now I'm not starting at the end of that hook, okay? I'm going to move over towards, that's the mouth, or like underneath the mouth. So I'm moving over towards here to start the rest of his head. I'm not closing the circle. I think eventually we will, but don't close it yet. Now, where this little curve is, I'm going to come right here and draw his grin. Okay, for the rest of the body. So we're going to come over. So not where this ends. I'm going to come up some. Again, I went across the folds. And then I'm going to curve down because this is his tail. And around. Again, don't curve around too much because we have to draw the other side of the tail. So you need to have some space where the head finishes here to where the top of this tail is, because we do have to add some legs. Now we're going to start at the end of the tail, curve it around, make the other side of the tail, and it kind of gets bigger or thicker as you come back to the body. Again, leave room right here. I don't want it right next to the tip of the tail. And then I'm going to connect back here. Again, that little line goes up some. We're going to do some erasing, okay? So right here, where his eye is going to go. So I'm going to come over here and kind of erase the top of that. You can draw it, then erase it, either way. Okay, so right here, we're going to draw one big circle. And then his skin has like a larger lap over it. So where this is, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to go right over it. And then I'm going to draw the other one you don't really see, so it's just part of it sticking out over here. hopefully I can find a picture of a chameleon. We found a chameleon out in the woods one time. So in Auburn and I think Finley, Shauna Monaco got to hold the chameleon, which is really weird because we've never found one in the wild. So hopefully I can find those pictures and kind of show you what they look like because they're very interesting. And then there's a little dot for his nose, and you can make him look wherever he wants. Now, as I'm looking at this, I feel like my curve is way too big. It looks like he's a frog. So this is why we erase or have an eraser. I'm going to erase that and make it a little bit less. It's a little better. And then I have to bring his body over here since I made it smaller. Okay, now we're going to add 1 foot and 1 foot. We're not doing 4 because he's going to be sitting on logs. All we see is here. So again, you can draw, then erase. You come out from the body, and it's kind of like a thumb. It's like a mitten. Like a glove, and then go out. And then you would erase that one line that goes through it. So again, same thing. Come up in the body, make the thumb, then the glove, and then come out and erase that. His feet are super weird. Not only do his eyes bugs out, but we never knew that their feet, hopefully I can get a good picture of it, look this interesting. They were kind of creepy. Okay, so now we're gonna make him sitting on a log. So technically this is the log right here. So I kind of want to take like, no, don't draw it here, but extend it past here, then kind of jump over and extend it past here. And then that's the top of the log. The bottom of the log is gonna kind of jump around his tail. I don't wanna make it too thick. So I'm just gonna come, it doesn't matter if it's straight, stop, jump over, stop, jump over, stop, jump over. Again, it's nature. It's not going to be perfectly straight. So that is your chameleon on a log. For the leaves, you're just going to make them coming out of the corners, or not the corners, around the edge. So I always say a frowny face, a smiley face, draw a line down the middle, and then V's. Again, don't draw too many. 3 is plenty. I'm going to try to do 2 leaves together. And again, I'm just gonna sporadically add them onto my paper real quick. Okay, again, don't do too many because you want to be able to paint the sky and you want to be able to do that easily and not have to go around a bajillion leaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I did 8. So I would not do more than 10 leaves. Do not do more than 10 leaves. I did 8. You may do 10. You could put another one here and another one there. Like I said, I like the group of 2s, but just wanted to throw something different. Once we have it drawn, the last detail is adding the lines that we're going to be painting him all the different colors that we went over, primary, secondary, tertiary. So there are 12 colors, which means we need to make 11 lines. 11 lines equals 12 spaces. So the first line, which is the easiest, is connect the circle. So his head is going to be 1 color. And then he is curved. So I kind of did it where this foot is. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is technically 4 lines. Again, where the foot is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces, 11 lines. When you get near the tail, I kind of spread them out more than I did here. But don't forget, 11 lines is what you're drawing. Once you get done that, put your pencil back in the pencil tub, get your item. Again, you are going to use the Sharpie because we're going to be using watercolors. Well, we're going to be using paint, so it's going to be wet. I don't know what kind of paint yet. So just understand you have to use the Sharpie or the lines will smear with any other of the pens. So get that lid on there, and then you're just going to trace over all the lines you just drew. So I'm going to do it real quick. Okay, so again, double check to make sure that your leaves look like they're coming out. Don't have like a floating leaf. You don't want just a leaf floating. The end of the leaf should be off the page. So just make sure that. Now, erasing lines, that's up to you. If you see a few lines, I know I see a few lines sticking out, but you don't have to erase them. Technically, it's just up to you and what you like. When you paint over them, you will not be able to erase them after you paint. So if you want to erase them, that should be happening after you trace it with your permanent marker. Again, I have extra permanent markers. They're just a different kind. They're not a Sharpie. They have a bigger tip. So for some reason yours is not working or you don't like the way that the thin line is, I do have a place where I keep the extra permanent markers. Just make sure you ask. So once you have traced it, drawn it, and outlined it, this is going to go back in your folder. So make sure once you do this, please do not write your name with your permanent marker. As you can see, that will go through. So once you write your name when you're done. Now, I always tell the kids, write your name after you're done, because if you mess up with your pencil, you can't really fix it when you're messing up with your permanent marker. You could flip it over and draw it on the back. But again, do not forget your name on the back of your paper. Then make sure that it is in your folder, your pencil's back in my tub, your marker's back where you have it, and then next time we get together, when everybody's ready, we'll begin adding the color.